What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Content Corner. This is your boy Herb,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lens.
and today, what are we talking about today, Lens? I forgot the cue.
What? Like, we just finished watching Euphoria, dude.
Yeah. So we're talking about Euphoria, guys. I totally knew that, 100%. Like I'm all here, all here, 100%. Yeah. So Euphoria show's like what, 2 years old now?
um, yes. Well, it came out in 2019, so yeah, about.
Cool. I mean, this show is a ride. It's a fucking ride. And yo, honestly, kind of felt like a trip in some ways too. I don't know about you, but definitely for me.
But all right. So it was definitely a ride. It was such an interesting story. I didn't know what to expect when I started it. All I knew was like they were like Zendaya. I was like, yeah, I want Zendaya. Like she's fire, and
Yeah,
it ended up being just absolutely amazing. If anybody has not seen it, it is essentially the story of a girl who suffers from drug addiction, and the ensuing events and the life around her and the people around her. It's extremely well done.
it's very well done. Like, oh man, the the lighting, the cinematography, bro, just visually, it's a really fucking pretty and dope show. Just
Yeah,
visually.
it's like hella creative. Um, so you have the cinematography, as you mentioned, the way that they frame scenes, the way that they like transition from one place to another, also the way that they portray time, because it's not always linear, right? It's not always just like one event into the next. Sometimes they go into the past. Sometimes they're showing multiple events, and you kind of have to piece together the timeline in your head. But it's not like it's like super hard to do so. It's just the way that they frame things gives context to what you're watching, and it's the fact that it doesn't have to be linear in order to do that. That just goes to show like how well crafted the show is, and the cast of characters, each of them, is so unique and interesting, and sometimes infuriating, sometimes really fucking cool.
Super infuriating,
Super
at least for
infuriating.
me.
Bro, like if anybody here has watched the show, or if you're listening and you watch the show, you know who I'm talking about. Fucking Nate and his bitch ass. Such a fucking
Bro, what was it?
asshole.
Episode? No, it was episode 8. The beginning of episode 8, where it's like, I just wish I could, and then like tied to the chair, on fire, and I just unloaded a Glock at him.
Bro, I was just like, yeah, I agree. I agree.
And then it's like title card. I'm like, oh, roll credits, cool, we're done.
I
All
wanted
right.
to like pause it right there and be like, well, I guess that's the season finale. Goodbye, everybody.
That's it. Have a go. Oh man, it would have been amazing if that were the case.
So like the conversation that they have about um drug addiction, right? Especially in the first special episode that they had,
Hmm.
it gets so in depth, and it gets so um how would I say, personal, right?
Right.
And you get such a new like insight to it if you've never either dealt with it or you never have met somebody that has had to go through it. Um, it gives you such a good insight as to what is it like? What do they have to go through? What do the people around them have to go through? How difficult this shit is. And I appreciate the show because it's not afraid to tackle these subjects, right? Like I feel like a whole lot of shows, while they attempt to deal with problems like addiction or insecurities or sexuality or any of this stuff, it's more like surface level, right?
Hmm.
They mention it or they frame it in a way where it's like, oh, if you are this, then it's bad, or if you're that, then it's good. You know, they're not. They never like dive into, well, what is it like? What are the struggles? They either do like good or bad, and most of the time things aren't, you know, good or bad. Things aren't good and evil. It's mostly
The world's a
gray.
lot of gray.
It's mostly gray. You know, a lot of like neutrality going on. So I appreciate the show for getting in depth and letting us able to empathize with the characters so that we have a better understanding of what people may be going through in real life. You know, it doesn't force you to just say drugs are bad, you know, because
Drugs are bad. Okay.
like listen, like drugs affect people in different ways, right? And
Yeah.
there are a lot of cases where it's negative, a lot. And there are some cases in which it's not too harmful to a person's life, but it varies. It varies like widely. So I appreciate the fact that they gave us a chance to kind of just view it all in the spectrum that it exists in.
Yeah. No, definitely. And like, I think, at least for me, because while the show ended in 2 years ago, we've had last year and now recently this year two specials that take place after the end of the season, right?
Hmm.
And to me, I think it was the first special that I think how to put it. It had the most to say about it. You know what I mean? About drugs and addiction, and it was just an entire hour of like the conversation. You know?
Or and like props to the writing where like a whole episode was just one long conversation between two people. Uh,
Hmm.
and it didn't feel boring. It didn't feel like long. Like it was a slow burn, obviously, but it it was just good. You know,
Yeah.
it was good conversation. It got you thinking, and you know they touched upon like different topics. Um, the character Ali, he mentioned like revolutions and the civil rights movement and like what's going on today and like how some things are bullshit and people who you think are on your side aren't really on your side and how superficial uh, intentions can be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just fucking. I was sitting there, I was just like appreciating every moment. I'm like, this is like some real good fucking like chewable bite into conversation here, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And while I would say, at least for me, while most of the show, like it does address the issue, right, and it does talk about it, I feel like that one episode in particular kind of really hits it home and really emphasizes just that, you know. the battle with addiction, the interaction with drugs is different for everybody, and you can't just write someone off, you know, without understanding exactly what they're going through or what's going through their mind, you know, to bring them this far.
Yeah. But also, he mentions at one point that the way that people react to someone who's battling addiction, right? So like,
Mm,
for example, you'll have one person that'll say, "Oh, well, why should I care about this person if they don't even care about themselves?" You know,
yep,
they put me in these like situations where like I'm stressed out and this and that, and it's really because of like a choice that they made, right?
right.
And he even says like it's valid, right? It's a valid thing for them to say because
Yeah,
they are suffering, they are like going through shit that they feel like they shouldn't have to because of the addictee's choice, right?
yeah,
But it's he also then like puts it like it is a disease, right? It is something that at a certain level you can't help and that you're going to struggle with like continuously.
and it's it was deep. It was really deep. And honestly, like I can't speak in terms of like what it must be like to go through that because I've never gone through that, and I will never speak as if I know, what someone needs to do, whatever.
Word.
But I feel like if I were to ever kind of like, I feel like this is a good episode to show someone that who you think may suffer from this problem. Just like, have them sit down and watch the show, and then when they get to that episode, I really feel like it's a message that could help someone, and maybe something that they may need to hear. It may do nothing, but I think it's worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. Um, Also, one thing I'll give props to the show is that I've never felt so comfortable watching a transgendered actor or character in a show.
Mm,
Um, to be fair, you usually don't see it. Like it's like hella rare, so it's not like I have a lot of data to like base this off of. But the way that they kind of they make it, I don't want to say obvious, right?
mhm,
But it's definitely like a known fact, and you are framed so that you kind of like just accept who that person is, right? Or
mhm.
at least the show accepts who that person is, because it's not like the viewer will have a hard time accepting this, right? Unless the viewer has some pre some prejudice against transgendered people,
Mhm.
but like you can tell the show's not ashamed of it. So
Yeah.
I say this because shows like back in like the 90s, 2000s, even the early 2010s, when they have uh, either queer characters or transgendered characters or just anybody that falls in like a minority that isn't widely talked about, it always treats them in a certain way. It always feels like the show is kind of sort of ashamed to have that person on, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it's changed over time, and we're not at the point where it's all kosher yet, but this is one of the few shows where I'm like, wow, this is like fully 100% accepting of this person who they are, and it was nice. It was nice to see. I was like, this is like very comfortable.
Yeah. It it was a step in the right direction for what, you know, something that we've, as a, I would say as a culture, have been trying to attain. We're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet, but like we are working towards it. So it's nice to see at least what, even though it's not a real location, at least in some world, fruits of our labor in a sense,
Hmm.
you know?
Also, the show embraces body positivity in like the like most the biggest way, right? Um you have this fat girl in the show,
Cat.
Cat, and in the beginning you can kind of see that she is self-conscious about her figure, and that partly had to do with the fact that she was a virgin. You know, she never had sex before. uh I'm not going to speculate the reasons as to why she didn't have sex before, right? But
Hmm.
she does mention, part of it had to do with her, own self-image. And then she has this whole arc where she becomes accepting of her body, and then she also becomes a little bit, how would I say, pessimistic about men's views and like the way that people will perceive her, right? So
She takes men are trash to like an extreme.
yeah. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna own my body and like and all this, but I know that other people won't, so I'm only going to participate in situations in which I have the what would I say, the the power, right? She wants to be the
In,
dominating force. She wants to be
she
in
wants to be in
control.
control of
Yeah.
everything.
So that way it doesn't really matter. Well, not even that it doesn't matter what the other person thinks. She knows the other person holds her to like a high standard or high like on a pedestal where she wants to feel because it gives her that like sense of confidence. And I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything wrong with that, but there's like a balance to it, right? Like if you think that you're hot shit, right? Like the hottest shit on the planet, it's not good for you. It just
No.
isn't, right? There's a difference between confidence and arrogance, and
It's a fine line.
yeah, she definitely like crossed that line. So when she did, I kind of like wasn't like I was in her corner, and then like she like crossed that line into arrogance, and I was like, that's like
Mm.
that's like OD. Like, come on now.
You were my friend. Supposed to bring balance to the show, not destroy it. But I mean, because one thing I didn't like about that is like, I'm not saying, you know, when she got the attitude, like you said, of arrogance of like, oh well, men ain't shit. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna say men aren't shit, but I will say that's not wrong because just nobody ain't shit.
Yeah, that's the
Doesn't
thing.
matter.
Like, I think the whole concept of oh men ain't shit or oh women ain't shit is wrong because ain't nobody shit.
Nobody
You
ain't
ain't
shit.
shit. I ain't shit. Like
Mm.
it's just a fact of life. Who do you think you are? Like, do you really think that you're that important? You're not, and I know I'm not.
I know I ain't shit. It's just ain't nobody shit. So just seeing her go down, it kind of irks me when people get that mentality of women ain't shit, men ain't shit. Because while at the same time, while nobody ain't shit, there are actually good people, and it's just could you have just met a bunch of people who ain't shit in a row? Yeah, doesn't mean that every
Absolutely,
one of that group is a row.
sure.
Just means your luck stat is garbage. That's all
well,
that
well,
means.
here's the thing. When I say like ain't nobody shit, it doesn't mean that like there aren't those people who ain't shit aren't good people. It just means that they aren't they aren't like mega important, right? Like
Yeah,
like if that person is arrogant, they have no reason to be. you know, like
yeah, none
no
at all.
reason to be arrogant.
So I mean, I like to think that eventually anyone who gets that arrogant eventually someday will get brought down and realize that they ain't shit, just
I
like the
mean,
rest of us.
I mean, here's the
Not
thing,
like
like probably
not
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 though.
like probably not. Which is why I said I like to think. I like to dream. I like to hope.
That's fair.
So,
Like
but
Cat got like brought down to earth. While it was like a very creepy situation, and like I don't condone like what happened because it was like hella creepy. I think
yeah,
in the long run, in the overall picture, it's kind of good that it happened because she kind of got like put in her place, right? And then she
yeah.
was like, okay, hold on, maybe I ain't shit. just maybe, just maybe, I ain't the hot shit that I think I am.
And
Let's
like
tone it down.
I will say, on the bright side, at the very least, what did happen wasn't like it wasn't in person. Like it's like she was alone with somebody. It was via a webcam, so it's not like she was in any imminent danger. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, and I think that's a very big like big factor as to why it was, you know.
I was glad that it was like online and it was like
Yes.
distance. There was no like physical harm that was possible. It
Yeah.
so that's why I was just like, okay, I don't want to say glad. I'm okay. I'm not glad it happened. I am happy about the results because she toned it down and she gained perspective, and then she ended up talking to the guy that like she thought like had betrayed her feelings, which he didn't because she just didn't have context. Um, so like she ended up talking to him and they got like an understanding.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know.
I
How to
will
put it?
say, right,
Uh-huh.
the biggest problem in the show is communication.
It
But
is. It definitely
it
is.
makes sense, right? It makes sense that like everybody's bad at communication because they're all fucking teenagers.
Everyone's garbage communication, and then you know I'll be watching the show and I'm like, I think back and I'm like, as much as I hope I wasn't that bad at communication, I probably was that bad at communication as a teenager.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
like, like, as much as I would love to think that I wasn't, nah, I probably was. I probably was. If I had to bet money on it, I'd bet against me. I would 100% bet against me. so
Yeah, like, and that's why the show is so believable, right? Because like even as an adult, you're like sitting there, you're watching the show, and you're like, wow, these people don't know how to fucking talk to each other. Oh my god, this is so stupid. But then you're like, well, they are teenagers, and well, I would probably like me as a teenager would probably do the same goddamn thing because I was just as dumb. You know,
I was trash.
they don't know anything yet because they're super young, and that's just the way it goes. But I will say I do like the way that they portray modern um teenagedom, youth teenagedom. I was like, what's the word? Youth.
Len, they're in the springtime of youth, Lens.
They
Come
are
on
this. They
now.
are in the springtime of youth. But yeah, I do like the way they portray modern youth because I feel like that's I'm past that point, right? We're a generation before them, so we kind of see the differences how things operate now. But overall, it's just the same. Just the same. Like things haven't really changed. The way that like people work and the way that social structures work and all of that, it's pretty much the same. What has changed is social media and like and shit, and that's a whole beast that they have to conquer and deal with. Uh, but it was comforting to kind of know that while things are different, the core concepts are probably the same. And, you know, for us, or when if we were to look back in time, it was probably the same for the generations before us. The same struggles that you go through. So it kind of gives me a good feeling of I'm glad the world, while it's changing, isn't changing like crazy.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know. But at the end of the day, fuck Nate. At the end of the day, fuck Nate.
Man, fucking Nate's piece of shit.
Man
Psych
had me stressing over
psychopath.
Fez.
Bro, all right. So when Rue was talking to Fez, right, and she was like, "Oh, we gotta do something. Da da da. Just hear me out. What if you were just like flash a gun at him?" And Fez was like, "That's the stupidest thing you said all day, right?" I'm like, Fez, you're right. And mind you, if you ever watch the show, Fez is the fucking best, bro. Fez is the best character in the show. I love Fez, right? So when like
Man's just trying to live his life.
he's just trying to live his
Get by.
life, right? And he's a good dude. You can tell he's a good dude. He may do bad things, but he's a good dude. Anyway,
Like,
um,
at the end of the day, he's a drug dealer because from what I remember, he wasn't I guess like he was a little slow, so he dropped out of school and he ended up becoming a drug dealer. But he does it to him and his brother do it to take care of their grandmother, who otherwise would just be in a hospital with no one who cares about her, because bruh, she can't see or hear, so she's just lying there, and I'm like, God, is she a vegetable?
I
Like,
think I think
is that
she
what's going on?
might just be brain dead or something. I don't know the specific details, but it's a shitty situation. But I will say that like while Fez is a drug dealer and he does some shady shit, you can tell like he's a good person, like
Yeah,
in his heart. Um, so when Nate came in, I was just like, all right, I hope Fez doesn't say anything, but I know he's gonna say something because Fez is a good person. Oh, here he goes. He's talking to Nate, and he's just like, yo, back off. Just leave him alone. And then Nate, being the alpha dog, right? He's just like, or what? What are you gonna do? Is that a threat? And like Fez, being the G that he is, he doesn't sweat. He doesn't flinch. He's just like, all I'm saying, man, is that if you keep messing with him, I'm gonna kill you. Like nice and calm. Like you're not gonna live anymore. You're just gonna die. Like it's just that's it. That's gonna be
it's
it.
it's a wrap,
It's a
bro.
wrap. It's a wrap. Calm down. Chill out. Leave him alone. Or you're dead. He didn't even want to threaten him. Right? He asked him if that's a threat. He said, "Nah, I'm not gonna have this conversation again. That's it. Like this is the terms. You leave them alone. That is the terms. That's it. No
That was it.
negotiation. No nothing. Right? And then you had to press the issue. Now that you're pressing the issue, now here comes the threat. The threat over your life. You're gonna die. And honestly, I was hoping that he like dies.
Bro, when I saw Fez sneaking around following someone's car, I'm like, yo, tell me he's following Nate's car. Please, God, tell me he's following Nate just to pop him right now. I need this show. I need this.
Oh man, Nate's gonna get his comeuppance. I know he is. I feel it. I feel it in my gut. He has to.
You feel it in your jimmies?
I feel it in my jimmies, bro. It's gonna happen.
Like, he has to, bro. He has to. He's gotten away with way too much shit. Yeah, man. I need Nate to get what's coming to him so bad.
So bad.
So bad.
It'll happen though. Yeah. So the at towards the end of the season there, when Nate's dad like confronted him, right? He's
Yeah.
like after he like won the game, he's doing his usual like, oh, you may have won, but you lost control. Leadership matters, and this that blah blah. And Nate steps to him. I was just like, okay, yo, pop this kid right now. Like, yo, put this kid in his fucking place, please, right? And you know what? He does. He puts him in his place. Like, because Nate's huge, bro. I was a little afraid that, like, he's gonna beat his dad, and then there was like nothing stopping him from being a raging psychopath.
Yeah.
But then his dad won, like
Yeah.
pinned him. He's like, what? And I was just like, yeah, punk. But then he like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But then he goes like absolutely ape shit insane. Like he's having like I thought he was having a seizure, but no, it was just like a rage attack. I was like, this is like rage, bro. Like he's insane. He's psychotic. He really is.
Yeah, bro. I was just like, um, like you can't. He's not there. He's not healthy. He's not healthy. He needs to be put away. He's a danger to everyone.
Word.
To everyone.
Well, I knew he wasn't healthy from the moment that well, he just beat up that random dude. Well, it wasn't a random dude, but he just beat up that dude, right? Like him and his girlfriend were on a quote unquote break, and his girlfriend decided to like get vengeance on him by like sleeping with a dude in a party in a pool, like in front of everybody, which is wild in and of itself, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then Nate responds not by going to his girlfriend and being like, "What the fuck," but going to the guy that she slept with, stalking him, breaking into his place, and beating the ever loving shit out of him. Like, fuck this dude up. I was just out and I was just getting so mad. I was just like,
But if you remember, he did that because she lied to him and told him that what do you call it? And told him that she was too drunk and that dude basically raped her.
yeah, she lied and said that she was blacked out and shit. The
And
ill
I'm like,
lie. The ill lie. The ill
mm-hmm,
lie.
mm-hmm,
I was so
mm-hmm.
mad. I'm like, see this? This right here? This is the problem with our culture.
Mm.
Like,
No facts,
why
facts.
are you lying for? Like, where does that get you? Oh, it gets you back together with your abusive boyfriend who later like choke slams her into a wall? Bruh.
But Lens, you don't understand. We love they love each other no matter what because they know they'll never hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, so why you hiding your neck then?
Word. Word. Why'd you try to like put makeup all over your neck?
Yeah,
Dude,
if it ain't a big deal, then
when they took those pictures, I was like, oh my goodness, it looked like you got attacked by a monster.
Psh, bruh. I was like, excuse me? Shit was wild. Shit was wild. Uh, it's there's a lot of things that are shown, and this whole show had no chill. There was no chill at any point in this show. I was sweating the whole time.
Mm, um, I mean, there was chill. There's some chill.
I feel like it was few and far between, if there. At the very least, all the the drama and the bullshit overshadowed any and all chill because I don't remember any chill whatsoever.
Here's the thing: the drama is memorable, right? That's why you feel like there was no chill, but there was chill. There were scenes of chill, of like when Rue or Jules were kind of like in their own little world, or like imagining things, or like when when like people were feeling pleasure. I mean, those are chill scenes, right? Or at least not stressful scenes.
Bro, how about right? How about freaking I didn't expect Jewel to actually leave without Rue.
Yeah.
I didn't expect her to leave without her. I expected there to be some, I expected the shit to go wrong and Jewel to not be understanding and there be issues between them. I did not expect it to just be like, well, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Word, like the fact that like this was kind of like it was Rue's idea, right? And Jules even said it was your idea, and then like Rue is obviously like having it like a panic attack. Like I was looking at her and she was just like increasingly like she was growing increasingly worried, and like she was starting to hyperventilate, and then like she started to cry, and I was just like, okay, well, as someone who loves Rue, right? You
Yeah.
should probably like take a second here, right? And be like, whoa, you obviously have like a really big problem with what's about to happen. Let's slow it down. Let's talk about this. But like we said, lack of communication is teenager 101.
Yep. Yep. Man, is it stressful for the viewers. Like just tell just talk. Just sit down and have a conversation.
Throw words
God
out of
damn
your
it.
mouth until they make sense.
You have you have a mouth. You have the gift of language. Use them.
Word, like please.
God. It's so upsetting. Like, oh man. Anyway, um, oh, m- less on that, but more on back to the visuals of the show. That finale, the ending to the finale. I was like, what?
The whole music video.
I did not expect an entire music video going into the show.
Dude, like HBO out here flexing their like money, their
Budget.
coordination, just Zendaya flexing her musical skills. Oh man. Oh, speaking of music, the
Mm,
whole soundtrack is fire.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Like,
it is.
oh my goodness, this soundtrack is amazing. Like, so many good songs. God.
It's oh my god. If it, I remember you and Ellie actually like discovered a song by like an artist that you both already enjoyed, but didn't know he made like a remix of a song
Yeah,
in one scene.
so I was listening to it. I was like, hold on. It was the last episode during like the last scene at the prom or homecoming or whatever that shit was.
Yeah.
The dance, and
Hmm.
I was like, hang on, this song bumps, but like there's something familiar about it. Oh, excuse me. A little tired. There was something familiar about it, right? Like the way that like the bass hit, and like the drums, and like the sound. I was like, it's from somebody we know, and yeah, it was a song that was remixed by Oliver, and I was just like, yo, that's amazing because Oliver's a shit.
Discovering old music from an artist you already enjoy.
Word. One thing I'll say, like overall, HBO shows just usually have great music. Like
I mean,
so,
when you got the budget, right?
sure. I mean, it's Warner Media. Warner Media like has like a shit ton of record labels under them, so they can They can pull out great music whenever they want.
They don't even gotta pay nobody half the time.
Word, like they're just like kind of like, well, they still like pay their artists, but it's kind of like it's not like they have to go to somebody else and pay a premium. They're just like, oh hey, like we're gonna give you like more of your paycheck.
Here's a bonus
It's a
on
bonus.
top of what we're paying you because like we're using your song again.
Exactly. So, man, it's just so good when I'm just sitting there, just watching a scene, like really good dialogue going on, and I just hear like a dope song that I know. I'm just like, oh, 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 oh
It's like
man,
this is lit. Oh man. Overall, I really enjoyed the show. Looking forward to
to
since
more.
season 2 is supposed to be starting filming like soon. Hopefully, we actually will get a season 2. I know that it won't
We
get
will,
canceled.
we will, we will. I highly doubt it's like one of the like most highly rated shows on their platform. I'm pretty sure they won something. I'm pretty
Like an
sure.
award.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won something. Let me check it out real quick.
They got the Primetime Emmy Award for outstanding what is this? Outstanding lead actress in a drama series.
Yep, they won an Emmy.
They they also got the Satellite Award for best actress in a series drama slash genre. And they got the People's Choice Award for the drama TV star of the year.
Well, it was Zendaya, Zendaya, and Zendaya,
Yeah, yeah. But all for Euphoria.
or they had six nominations and three wins for in Emmys. Um, the Emmys they won outstanding original music and lyrics. They if this page would load, like, can you load, please? There we go. They won, yeah, outstanding lead actress, and they won outstanding contemporary makeup, non-prosthetic.
The makeup was extremely well done.
Word,
Like
word. Oh my
Jesus.
goodness. Yeah, like three Emmys in one season, like right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll get season 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like they'd be insane not to.
So,
Especially like there's because there's a lot of questions like that are like floating in the end, like what's going on with Fez, like what how's like Rue and Jules gonna like settle their shit.
bro, no idea if Fess is even gonna make it out alive.
They just left me on a cliffhanger. I'm just like, I need closure.
I need something.
I need closure.
Oh god, it hurts. It hurts.
But it'll come. It'll come. It's great. I cannot wait for more. On to the next great HBO series.
Right?
Because they're just rolling out with hits, nothing but hits.
Oh my god. Well, that's about all I have to really say about the show without going episode by episode, scene by scene, which I feel like it's not a show I want to do that for because it's
Shoot,
really worth the watch.
it really is worth a watch. I might rewatch it. Oh man, it was just that good, man.
It was really good. It was fantastic. Anyway,
But yes,
on that note,
I'll leave it so that everybody else can experience it.
yeah. On that note, everyone, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed our rambling and our rants and our opinions and us, telling y'all that y'all ain't shit just because we ain't shit as well. So, because everybody ain't shit,
Ain't nobody shit.
So, as always, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, the underscore content corner, for updates on when we go live, when episodes go up on YouTube and Facebook. Catch our streams on Twitch. Unfortunately, due to my school, my college
You mean your
fucking up
life?
on their end, fucking up my life. I will actually have to be cutting some streams out, and I won't be able to stream on Mondays anymore, which is very upsetting. So Lens is gonna pick up the slack by streaming on Wednesdays as usual.
Less of him, more of me. I mean, so it's not that bad, right?
And ouch, ouch, that hurts. Oh man. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. Catch you later.